The night was cold. Rain fell softly on the metal streets of the alien city. Neon lights flickered, but the alleys were dark. Most people were inside, warm and dry. But one human, Ryan Carter, walked alone with his coat pulled tight. He had just finished a delivery mission near the outer medical district. Ryan wasn't a soldier anymore, just a quiet man who stayed away from trouble. But tonight, trouble found him. As he walked past the alien hospital, he saw something strange, 2 medbots dragging something out the back door. At first, he thought it was trash. But then he saw a hand. Small, glowing, and shaking. He stopped. Medbots dropped the body into a pile of wet garbage. The figure groaned. It was alive. What the hell? Ryan muttered, walking over quickly. The bots turned to him with blank faces. "Step back, citizen," one said in a cold voice. "She's alive," Ryan said, kneeling next to the alien girl. Her body was thin. Her skin, light blue and marked with bruises. Her eyes were shut, lips cracked. She wore no clothes, just a ripped medical sheet barely covering her. "She is beyond saving," the medbot replied. "Unresponsive. Treatment ended. Species incompatible." Ryan's jaw tightened. "You just left her here to die?" The bots didn't answer. They turned and went back inside, their footsteps echoing on the wet ground. Ryan looked down at the girl. She coughed weakly. Her glowing blood mixed with the rain. She was shivering hard, barely breathing. "No," Ryan whispered. "Not like this." He pulled off his coat and wrapped her gently in it. Her eyes opened for 1 second. They were a bright silver color, filled with pain and fear. "It's okay," he said softly. "I got you." He picked her up. She was so light it felt like lifting a child. Her body was cold, bones pressing through her skin. Ryan didn't know much about alien medicine. He couldn't take her to another hospital. They would reject her like the first one did. She wasn't a citizen, just experimental trash, according to their rules. But he knew someone who might help. He rushed down the streets, holding her tight. His boots splashed in the puddles. Some aliens gave him strange looks, but no one stopped him. After 10 minutes of fast walking, he reached a small building with a sign, Dr. Linda's Animal Care and Healing Center. It was a vet clinic. He knocked on the door. Hard lights turned on inside. A few moments later, the door opened, and an older woman in a sweater stood there. "Ryan?" she said, confused. "It's the middle of the night." "What? She's dying," Ryan said, stepping in. "Please help her." Dr. Linda looked down at the bundle in his arms. She gasped when she saw the alien girl. "That's not an animal." "No, I don't know what she is, but she's alive. And I won't let her die." Dr. Linda looked at him for a moment. Then she nodded. "Bring her in." They rushed to the back room. The place smelled of medicine and wet fur. Ryan laid the girl on the table. Linda turned on the lights and gasped again. "My God, these aren't wounds from a fight. These are surgical scars. She's been opened more than once." "She was in a hospital," Ryan said angrily. "They gave up on her, said she wasn't worth it." Dr. Linda carefully checked her pulse. "It's weak, but still there." She moved fast, cleaning the blood, attaching machines, putting a warm pad under the girl's body. The vet used supplies meant for animals, but she didn't care. The patient was breathing, and that's what mattered. Ryan watched in silence, heart pounding. After 20 minutes, the girl's body stopped shaking. She was still pale, but her chest moved slowly, steadily. "She's stable for now," Linda said, "but she needs rest and care, lots of it." Ryan sat down on a stool, wet and tired. He looked at the girl's face. She looked peaceful now, almost like she was just sleeping. "What do we do next?" he asked. Linda sighed. "We hide her. You know the rules. If the authorities find her here, they'll take her back, or worse." Ryan looked at the girl again. "Then we don't let them find her." He reached out and gently took her hand. Her fingers twitched. She was alive. Still fighting. And he had made a promise that no one else had helped her. No alien doctor, no system, no one, but he did. A human. A stranger. He didn't care what species she was. She wasn't trash. Not to him. The vet clinic was quiet, except for the soft beep of an old monitor and the rain tapping on the windows. Doctor Linda hadn't slept in over 24 hours. But she couldn't take her eyes off the alien girl lying on the table. She had treated wounded war dogs, wild beasts with acid blood, even an escaped jungle tiger from a rich alien's private zoo. But nothing like this. Ryan stood nearby, arms crossed, eyes fixed on the girl. He hadn't spoken in 10 minutes. His coat hung on a chair, soaked. His shirt clung to him, still damp from the rain. "Ryan," Dr. Linda finally said, her voice low, "this girl. She's not just injured. She was cut open again and again. Her organs were moved like a puzzle someone kept trying to solve." Ryan nodded slowly. They called her defective. Said she wasn't worth healing. Dr. Linda clenched her jaw. They didn't try to heal her. They experimented. That's not a hospital, that's a lab. She reached for her scanner and waved it over the girl's chest. The results made her blink twice. "This can't be right," she said. "What is it?" Ryan stepped closer. "She has 2 hearts. One's barely working. And her lungs, they aren't natural. They're grown, artificial. Like someone made her instead of, being born." Ryan didn't answer. He just looked at the girl's face. She was young. Maybe the alien version of a teenager. Her skin glowed faintly under the clinic light. Her white hair stuck to her cheeks. And though she didn't speak, her fingers sometimes twitched like she was reaching for something in her dreams. "Is she safe now?" Ryan asked. Dr. Linda shook her head. "No, not yet. We need to do more." "And Ryan, what were you thinking? Bringing her to me?" Ryan looked her in the eyes. "Every hospital I've seen works for the same system. They don't care about someone like her. But you, I'm a vet," she said flatly. "And you care more than any of them," Ryan sighed. That made her pause. Then sigh. "Well, I guess I'm not letting her die on my table," she muttered, turning to her supplies. "Get me those saline bags. We're going to keep her alive." As Ryan moved to help, the lights flickered. A low sound filled the room, a soft hum. Then the girl's eyes snapped open, silver, glowing, wide with panic. She gasped, body jerking. Tubes pulled, machines beeped. "Stop, stop." Ryan rushed to her, grabbing her hand. "You're safe. You're not outside anymore. You're not in that place." But she didn't understand his words. She struggled to sit up, fear in her eyes. She looked around the room like she expected someone to hurt her. Dr. Linda gently touched her shoulder. "Hey, it's okay. You're not in danger." The girl's lips parted. She made a strange sound, a soft clicking noise. Then tried to speak. "Doctor?" she whispered. Ryan and Linda froze. She spoke. Ryan said softly. Linda leaned in. "Yes, doctor, I'm here. You're safe." The girl looked at Ryan. Her hand tightened around his. Her voice was shaky. "Cold, dark, cage." Those 3 words. Ryan's heart dropped. She remembered. Dr. Linda turned to Ryan. "She's traumatized. You need to be gentle. Let her know she's not a prisoner anymore." Ryan knelt beside the table. He kept his voice calm. "You're free now. I won't let them take you, I swear." The girl blinked slowly, breathing fast. Then her lips moved. Again. One word, simple. "Name?" Ryan blinked. "You don't have one?" She looked down, almost ashamed. He thought for a moment. "How about Kiri?" She looked up, eyes wide. "Kiri." Dr. Linda smiled. "That's a beautiful name." The girl. Kiri smiled weakly. Her shoulders relaxed just a little. Then the power flickered again. A red light blinked on the monitor. Dr. Linda checked it, then frowned. Damn, her second heart's going into shock. We need to stabilize it. Ryan stood. Tell me what to do. As the two humans worked together, the alien girl, no longer just a body in the rain, watched them with tired but curious eyes. She was alive. She had a name. And maybe, just maybe, she finally had someone who cared. Asterisk. The morning was quiet. The rain had stopped, but the sky outside was still gray. A soft breeze moved through the cracks of the old vet clinic. Birds chirped in the distance. Inside, the clinic smelled like clean bandages and warm tea. Ryan was asleep in the chair beside the medical table, arms crossed, chin resting on his chest. Teary was not. She had been awake for hours, staring at the ceiling, listening to every sound, the beep of the machines, the slow breathing of the sleeping human, the hum of lights. Her body ached, but her mind was sharp now. And one word repeated in her head, again and again: cage. She remembered being inside one. She remembered the cold table, the knives, the white lights. Kind faces meant nothing anymore. She had learned that kindness could change. Smiles could turn to needles. She had to get away before it was too late. She sat up, moving slowly. Her muscles hurt. Her legs were weak. But she pushed forward, shaking. She looked at Ryan. He had given her food, warmth, a name. But what if he changed tomorrow? What if he gave her back? She slid off the table, wincing as her bare feet touched the cold floor. 1 step, 2 steps. Her legs trembled. She grabbed the table's edge to keep herself from falling. Don't make noise, she told herself. She looked around. There, a back door. She moved toward it, limping. The clinic's hallway was dark and narrow. A sleeping dog in a cage looked at her and made a soft sound. She paused, then kept going. She reached the door, her hand shaking as she turned the lock. It clicked. She pulled the door open, and the sunlight hit her like fire. She covered her eyes, blinking. She had never seen real sunlight, just white lamps above her cage. The light was warm, soft. It confused her. And then she heard footsteps behind her. Teary? It was Ryan. He had woken up. She froze like a hunted animal, her eyes wide. Her hands shook. I'm not going to hurt you, he said, stepping forward. Slowly. Please, don't run. Teary stepped back. Her body hit the wall. She winced in pain. Leave, she said, voice breaking. No, more cage. Ryan stopped. His heart broke. You think I'll put you back there? He said softly. She didn't reply. Her head was down. Her whole body looked like it wanted to disappear. Ryan took a deep breath, then slowly knelt. I'm not like them. Teary, I don't want to hurt you. I want you to be free. She looked at him, confused. Free? Yes, he said. No one will lock you up again. Not while I'm breathing. He reached into his pocket and pulled something out. A small music chip. He clicked it. Soft tune played, a lullaby from Earth. Teary's ears twitched. Her eyes widened. The sound. It wasn't cold or sharp. It was gentle, sad, beautiful. She lowered her head. Tears fell. I don't know how to be free, she whispered. Ryan stood and slowly walked to her. Then stay and learn, he said. With me. Teary looked up at him. He offered his hand again. She stared at it. Then, after a long pause, she reached out and touched it. Her hand trembled. His hand was warm. She didn't run. Not this time. Back inside, Dr. Linda watched through the hallway, silently holding a cup of tea. She tried to run, she whispered to herself, but she didn't get far. The human had reached her again. Not with force, but with kindness. And that was something no alien lab could ever create. 2 days passed. Teary didn't try to run again. She now slept in a warm corner of the clinic, curled under a blanket with Ryan's old hoodie wrapped around her like armor. She ate small meals. She stayed quiet, but her silver eyes slowly lost their fear. She even smiled once, just once, when the clinic cat, a fat orange furball named Toast, climbed onto her lap and purred loudly. Ryan saw that smile. He never said a word about it. He just smiled too. Quietly. But peace doesn't last forever. That morning, a drone flew down to the vet clinic. It was small, silent, and silver. It hovered at the door for a moment, then dropped a thin black envelope through the mail slot before flying off. Ryan found it lying on the floor. There was no return address. No stamp. Just one line in red letters: Human Carter compliance required. He opened it. His hands shook by the second line. We are aware of the illegal preservation and concealment of subject KX11-9, unofficially named Teary. This entity belongs to the Genetic Research Branch under Galactic Code 275B. Return the subject immediately to Sector Authority. Non-compliance will result in charges of theft, obstruction, and species interference. Galactic Health and Weapons Science Division. Ryan, read the last part out loud. Failure to surrender the subject will result in permanent removal. Dr. Linda stared at him. They know. Ryan looked up. How? Dr. Linda stepped to the window and pulled the curtains. Someone must have reported her. Maybe one of those aliens who saw us carrying her that night. Teary walked in slowly, sensing something was wrong. She looked at the black letter in Ryan's hand. What? That? She asked. Ryan smiled, but it was forced. Just some junk. Nothing important. But Teary could feel it. Fear was back in the room. She backed away, her hands clenched. But to cage? No, Ryan said quickly. Never. Dr. Linda was pacing now. We have a problem. These people don't ask. They take, if they come. Here, it won't be a conversation, it'll be a collection. Ryan folded the letter and burned it over the sink. They won't find her. Teary watched the flames rise and fall. Then she walked to the window and whispered something no one expected. I was made for war. Both Ryan and Linda turned toward her. What did you say? Ryan asked. Teary touched her chest. Heart 1, for love. Heart 2, for battle. That's what they said. Dr. Linda's face turned pale. They built her for war, but she failed their tests. So they threw her away. Teary nodded. I didn't want to kill. Ryan stepped closer. They punished you for that. Yes. Ryan's fists clenched. Then they'll never get you back. Not ever. He looked at Dr. Linda. We need help, legal help. Maybe someone high up who doesn't answer to this health and weapons group. Dr. Linda hesitated, then sighed. I may know someone. A patient from years ago, an alien ambassador. He owed me a favor after I saved his pet from a plasma burn. Then call him, Ryan said. Use that favor. Teary looked confused. Favor? It's when someone remembers kindness, Ryan said, and returns it when it matters. Teary was silent for a moment. Then softly she said, You have given me many favors. Ryan looked at her. Double quotes. No, just one, he said. I chose to care, and I'm not going to stop. Outside, the sky darkened. Another drone flew overhead, but this one was different, bigger, marked with black and red symbols. A message boomed in the distance. Subject KX119 has been located. Surrender is required within 24 planetary hours. Doctor, Linda whispered. They're not asking anymore. Ryan opened a cabinet and pulled out a stun rifle. Then let them try. Asterisk. The sky outside turned bright again. The warning drones were gone for now. But inside the old vet clinic, something beautiful was growing. Not plants, not machines, something softer. Something rare. Trust. Teary now sat by the front window, wrapped in a blanket, holding a warm mug. The drink inside wasn't real tea, it was a mix of vitamins and broth. But to her, it tasted like safety. Ryan had built her a little corner. He didn't say much, He didn't force anything. He just made sure. She had space to breathe, and slowly. She began to. She no longer jumped at every sound. She no longer flinched. When someone walked past her, she even began to ask questions. "What is Toast?" she asked one morning, pointing to the clinic cat. Ryan chuckled. "It's his name." Toast. Kiri blinked. "Naina's food?" "Yeah, he looked like burnt bread when I found him, so I called him Toast." Kiri reached out and touched the cat gently. He purred and rolled over. She smiled. It was her second real smile. Later that day, she followed Ryan outside for the first time, just behind the building. Just for a few steps, the sun hit her skin. She froze. "This is not lamp," she said softly. "Nope," Ryan said. "It's the real thing. The sun." She reached up like a child, letting the light touch her hands. "I like it," she whispered. They stood in silence for a moment. Then she asked, "What is laugh?" Ryan turned. "Why?" She tilted her head. "Sometimes, when you look at me, I hear something in your chest. Not angry, not pain, but light." Ryan smiled. "That's a laugh. Is it allowed?" He laughed for real now. "Of course. It means you're happy." Kiri was quiet. Then she said something that stopped him in his tracks. "I want to learn it." Later that night, Kiri sat in the back room with paper and markers. She drew what she remembered. First, a cage. Sharp lights, wires. Then, a man. Holding her. Then, Toast, curled on her lap. Finally, a picture of her. And Ryan, standing under the sun. She showed it to Dr. Linda. The old vet smiled and almost cried. "You're healing," Linda whispered. "Not just your body, your soul." 2. Asterisk. But peace, as always, doesn't last long. That same night, while Kiri was asleep, Ryan stood by the front desk reading the encrypted reply from the alien ambassador Dr. Linda had contacted. The message was short and chilling. "Ryan, you must hide her somewhere else. The Galactic Science Division is coming, not to arrest you, to erase you. They don't want proof she ever existed. You need to move now. You have less than 48 hours." Ryan closed the message. His hands shook. Kiri had begun to heal. But now, they would have to run. Again. And this time, they might not survive. Asterisk. The night was too quiet. Even the wind felt nervous. Inside the vet clinic, Ryan packed supplies with fast hands first aid kits. Food, tools, and the few belongings Kiri now called her own. A crayon drawing. A soft blanket. A cracked music chip. They had only a few hours left. The science division would arrive soon, and they weren't coming to talk. They were coming to erase everything. Ryan, the clinic, and Kiri. Kiri stood by the door, watching. She didn't speak, but her silver eyes were clear. "Where do we go?" she finally asked. "Somewhere far," Ryan replied. "Somewhere they can't find you." "Us," she corrected. Ryan paused, then gave a soft smile. "Right." U.S. Dr. Linda entered the room, holding a box of injectors. "This is everything I've got that might help. Painkillers, healer fluid, nerve boosters." She handed Ryan a folded paper, a map to an old rescue shelter in the mountains. "It's off-grid. They won't scan it easily." Ryan nodded. Kiri stepped closer. "You should come too," she said to Linda. Linda smiled, but her eyes were tired. "No, sweet girl. Someone has to stay behind and slow them down." Suddenly, crack. A light outside exploded. Then came the sound of heavy boots. Metal footsteps. Ryan looked at the security cams. Black armored soldiers. 5, no 7. Marching toward the building. A speaker on one of their suits shouted, "Surrender the subject. You have 10 seconds." Kiri backed away. Her breathing quickened. Her hands shook. Ryan knelt beside her. "Remember what I said?" he whispered. Kiri nodded. "You said I'm not going back." "That's right." Ryan handed her a small device. A beacon. When? The door opens behind the clinic run. Follow the map. Linda and I will give you time. Carrie looked at him, terrified. You'll come after? I promise. Then the countdown began. 5, 4, 3. Ryan threw open the clinic side door. Carrie, go. She ran. But as she reached the alley, she stopped and looked back. Ryan stood tall, rifle in hand. Dr. Linda was beside him, holding a shock baton meant for angry alien pets. Carrie whispered to herself, they protect me, not because I am a weapon, but because I am me. Then she disappeared into the shadows. The front doors burst open. The black-armored hunters stepped in. Where is the subject? The lead one asked. Ryan didn't answer. Instead, he raised the rifle. I have something better, he said. Message. The soldier aimed his weapon. Speak. Ryan pulled the trigger. A flash of blue light hit the soldier in the chest, sending him flying backward into the wall. The room exploded into chaos. Dr. Linda swung her baton, shocking another trooper to the floor. Ryan fought like a soldier once more, fast, smart, and without fear. But they were outnumbered. A plasma bolt flew past Ryan's head and burned the wall. Another soldier grabbed Linda and slammed her to the ground. Ryan turned, but a heavy fist hit him in the back. He fell to one knee. Then the leader stepped forward. Where is the girl? Blood on his lip, Ryan smiled. Far from monsters like you. The soldier aimed at his head. Goodbye, human. But before he could fire, boom! An energy blast hit the soldier from behind, sending him crashing into the wall. Smoke filled the room. Through it stepped a tall alien, dressed in silver robes. Behind him floated guards with glowing staffs. Ambassador Korvac, he said, invoking diplomatic protection under Code 17B. This human and his companion are now under my shield. The black-armored team froze. No jurisdiction, Korvac said coldly. Leave, now. The soldiers hesitated, then backed away. Ryan, still on the floor, looked up. Korvac offered his hand. Dr. Linda called in a favor. I keep my promises. Ryan smiled weakly. I guess favors do matter. Outside the city, far in the mountain shadows, Carrie found the shelter cabin. She sat under the stars, holding the music chip, listening to Ryan's voice he had recorded just in case. Keep breathing, keep healing, I'll be there soon. And in that moment, she didn't feel like an experiment. She didn't feel broken. She felt human. Snow fell gently in the mountains. The rescue shelter was old but warm. Its walls were made of stone, its roof patched with care. Inside, a small fire crackled, filling the room with soft light. Carrie sat by the window, a blanket around her shoulders. Her hair had grown a little. Her color had returned. Her eyes no longer shook with fear. She had gained weight, strength, peace, but she still waited. Every night, she looked out into the dark, hoping. She had no calendar, no clock, only the sound of wind and the memory of his voice. Then, one morning, just before sunrise, she heard footsteps. Not loud, not rushed, just steady. Like someone walking home. She stood. She didn't breathe. The door opened slowly, and there he was. Ryan. Dirty, bruised, tired, but smiling. She ran to him without thinking and threw her arms around him. He nearly fell from the surprise. I kept my promise, he whispered, voice rough. Told you I'd come. Carrie nodded, her head buried in his chest. You were late, she whispered back. Ryan laughed softly. Ambassadors move slow, but I made them move. They sat by the fire for hours, saying nothing, just being. Dr. Linda arrived 2 days later. She brought Toast the cat, extra supplies, and something else. Papers. Official ones. With stamps. With seals, with Carrie's name at the top. Ryan read it out loud. Subject KX11-9 is no longer classified. She is now recognized as an independent. Protected citizen of the neutral territories. Name, Kiri. Status, free individual. Kiri looked at the paper in silence, then smiled. She wasn't a subject anymore. She wasn't a cage number. She was Kiri. Months passed. Kiri built a garden with her own hands. She painted the walls of the cabin with colors and stars. She even adopted a baby creature, a tiny four-legged thing that squeaked when happy. She slept through the night now. She laughed sometimes. She had learned it. One day, she stood in front of a broken mirror, staring at her reflection. She didn't see a weapon. She didn't see a failed project. She saw a girl. With hope in her eyes, Ryan walked up behind her. "You ready?" he asked. Kiri turned. She wore a soft vest with a new symbol, a small patch that said, Assistant Healer, Refuge Clinic. She nodded. "Yes, ready." They rode down the mountain on a small vehicle, heading toward a nearby town. It had no cages. No labs. Just people. Kiri was going to help others. Now, just like someone once helped her, the galaxy had given up on her. Alien doctors left her outside like trash. But one human didn't walk away. He didn't see a weapon. He saw a life worth saving. And from that moment, her new beginning began.